Hi, this is Steve Foy. I am presenting my project here in iMovie using technology in the classroom. It was part of my PowerPoint. I printed it out, and I'm going to hope that this goes well. I questioned three teachers: Tina, Stephanie, and Jean. Tina is a primary school teacher, Stephanie, elementary, like fourth, fifth, sixth grade, Jean, high school age students. And I asked him a series of these questions here. First one being, how often do you use tech in the classroom? Tina, often. Jean and Stephanie, daily. They use the smart board, computer projectors, so they are doing something every day with that. Professional goals. I asked what their professional goals were. Tina's professional goal is to get their kids to type more to prepare them for futures in technology, because she figures typing is, obviously you need to learn how to do that to get information out there. Stephanie's professional goal is to use some Google Classroom to turn in assignments and monitor grading effectively online. And Gina is to use the technology to assist a learner and facilitate the conveying of information in whatever means necessary. I asked him, do you think it's important for students to know how to use a computer while learning? They all agree yes. And basically, it's going to be the way of the future, just like we've learned in some of our other lessons and cohorts. How effective is technology in the classroom? I asked them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the best. Tina and Jean put 8. Tina's improvement would be is, again, getting the kids to type is her big thing. Gene would be, he didn't put a 10 just because they're limited to certain types of text based on school budgets and such. Stephanie graded as a 6. She uses it often, it's great practice. She personally has trouble keeping track of all their progress online. Do your students have equal access to technology that meets their needs? They all say yes. Kids all have access to computers or iPads. And in terms of learning differences, students who struggle visually can put larger fonts on. And in Jean's case, the high school student, they can, since they all have their own laptop, they can use speech for texting, and they can alter the language in large fonts. So it does meet the individual students' needs in their view. Do you monitor the websites that your students view? They all say yes. In Tina's case, with the younger kids, they have basically somebody looking over their shoulder as they're on the computer. Stephanie gives her kids a list of sites that they can use when they're researching something, and Jean's school basically has a list of, they filter it so you can't go to certain websites. How do When asked about collaborating, how do you collaborate with your colleagues in regards to technology? Um, Tina's always collaborating. Stephanie shares ideas, but there's not much collaboration behind that. And Jean, daily, since they don't have a technology class, so they need to integrate using the tech as part of their curriculum. So, how do you personalize the learning experience to reach the needs of your students? Um, Basically, between Tina and Stephanie, they're using certain programs like Raz Kids, Mathletics, Star Pre-testing to adjust to different needs. So there's different levels on these apps. You conquer one level, you go to the next, and then you can monitor their progress there. Gene, he monitors each student's use of whatever tech tool that the student's using to ensure that they know what they're doing with it. Using tech in the classroom, what challenges do your students face? In one case, it's the equipment. iPads need to be updated. Stephanie is something like remembering passwords, which I can relate to. And Gene, it's distractions. A lot of times, he may be talking about something, and then kids are buried into their phone um, or a computer. Your students have opportunity to set goals in regards to technology use, and they all kind of said no. Gene said because the school has a predetermined plan, that students are mostly limited to what is planned. So at this point, they're all kind of lacking in student goal setting use. With the lesson plan, so it was fourth grade lesson plan, And the purpose was to engage a process to assort essential planning habits. And it was a literacy test here, and the objective was basically for one fourth grade student to read another student's work and give feedback to improve their writing. They were going to do that by assessing student strengths, student needs, so learning how to give feedback. Um, and they were going to use anchor charts to support learning, written instructions and cues, practicing routines and procedures. All students are allowed to support each other with the assignments. In the timeline of the lesson, 5 minutes of free writing. Then they will look together at an essay to edit together ahead of time, and then go into their topics. I think the positives of this are student collaboration. The kids are getting to collaborate over schoolwork and think critically about this. I think a little bit of a drawback might be that they don't quite know how to give feedback correctly, or if there was somebody that's their friend, sometimes it gets hard to say, gee, I don't think you're doing this quite right. So essential feedback in this situation could vary. So I think that is a little bit of a weakness in the system, but I think for the most part, this was a very positive lesson. I wish I would have seen the lesson. It was just my friend forwarded me the lesson and told me about it. So I'm just going off of what I've heard, not what I've seen. Thank you.